Modern medicine currently functions as a highly efficient industrial assembly line, perfectly designed to produce standardized treatments at scale. This industrial scale is managed by corporate analysts who evaluate healthcare through the same metrics used for any other global industry. In 2018, a biotechnology report from Goldman Sachs posed a question to its investors: is curing patients a sustainable business model? This chart compares healthcare spending to life expectancy. The U.S. is an extreme outlier, spending $15,000 per person, the highest globally, yet having the lowest life expectancy among wealthy nations. This position is driven by massive chronic illness, requiring daily medical intervention. The data suggests the American system operates as a revenue-focused entity. In this framework, long-term health represents a lost subscriber, while the expansion of chronic disease ensures a reliable and growing customer base. Expanding that customer base often relies on disease mongering. This industry practice involves lowering the diagnostic bars for existing conditions, effectively creating new patients without needing to discover new molecules. For example, in 2004, a U.S. medical panel lowered the official threshold for high cholesterol. This administrative shift instantly reclassified tens of millions of healthy people as patients who required immediate prescription drug treatment. Public records revealed that 7 of the 9 panel members who approved this change had financial ties to the pharmaceutical companies manufacturing cholesterol-lowering statins. That same year, global sales for those drugs reached nearly $30 billion. This bar chart shows where the U.S. pharmaceutical sector directs its capital. The industry spends $31.5 billion on research and development, but that figure is dwarfed by the $57.5 billion spent on marketing and promotion. The U.S. is one of only 2 developed countries that allows prescription drugs to be advertised directly to the public. These commercials encourage viewers to bypass clinical advice and request specific brand name medications from their doctors. The goal of this marketing is the acquisition of lifelong subscribers who will remain dependent on daily pharmaceutical products. The financial risk of a cure was demonstrated when Gilead Sciences released a highly effective treatment for hepatitis C. Because it cured the patients completely, the available market shrank and the company's sales dropped. In contrast, managing a lifelong condition provides a stable, recurring revenue stream. Diabetes is a primary example of this model. A single diagnosis creates a lifetime of daily dependence on insulin, monitors, and test strips, a cycle that generates nearly $100 billion in global annual sales. This graph tracks the price of a single vial of Humalog insulin. In 1996, it cost $21. By 2019, that price reached $332, a 1,200% increase, even though the cost to actually manufacture the vial stayed between $2 and $4. To protect these margins, companies use evergreening. They make minor changes to a drug's delivery method or dosage just as the original patent is about to expire, allowing them to file for a new patent and block cheaper generic versions. The manufacturer of the drug Humira filed over 300 patents to protect its monopoly. This strategy delayed generic competition in the U.S. for years, costing the healthcare system an estimated $14 to $19 billion in excess charges. These legal tactics ensure that patients remain trapped in a monopoly, forced to pay high rates for survival with no alternative providers. To find the root causes of health, researchers looked outside of the hospital. In the 1960s, the Whitehall study began tracking 17,000 British civil servants to see how their daily lives affected their longevity. Every person in the study had the same healthcare coverage. Despite this, workers at the bottom of the hierarchy died from heart disease at twice the rate of those at the top. The researchers concluded that a person's social position was a more accurate predictor of death than their medical records. These findings established that hierarchy dictates the material conditions of life. When these social determinants, such as wage stability, the quality of their housing, and their education level, are poor, the body suffers a level of stress that medical care cannot undo. In the U.S., the healthcare system often undermines these determinants. Medical debt is now a leading cause of personal bankruptcy, stripping families of the financial stability and housing security they need to remain healthy in the first place. Costa Rica offers a different model. In 1948, the country abolished its military and moved that funding into education and public health. Costa Rica now has a higher life expectancy than the United States. They achieved this result by spending only 1/8 as much per person, focusing their resources on social foundations and preventative primary care, rather than high-cost reactive treatments. The evidence forces a decision on how we structure our society. We can organize our institutions to protect health as a basic human right, or we can continue to treat it as a captive consumer market.